Hey, good morning, Eastern Oregon, and welcome to this June 9th version of AM Live on EOA, your connection to Eastern Oregon. We're glad that you are here with us today. If you want to find our content, go to EOA.network, EOA.network, and that takes you to a link tree where you can find the location of our Facebook, our Roku channel, our website, and Instagram, all of those things where our content is distributed, and then the places also on the podcast networks like Spotify, where you can find these episodes after the fact there. So glad you're here with us. Here in a little bit, we are going to have Maggie and Frederick from the Right Track Resource Center, which used to be the Union County Warming Station here in La Grande, and give us a report and kind of tell us they're at the end of their season and tell us how this last warming season went. So, how are you, man?
Good. Second Monday already.
Yeah.
Second Monday in, what is it, June 9th? June 9th? June 10th?
June 7th. What, I don't know. What did we just say?
June 7th. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's definitely not June 7th. June 9th.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, so time's flying. We got a little over a month until Shrine. That's crazy.
Yep.
It's almost like it just gets here, and then we're like, it seems like we were just saying, we got a little over a month till Shrine.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it'll be like getting into fall football again. Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see on the west side, this lady turned herself in. She was trying to kill her kids.
Okay.
And with carbon monoxide.
All right.
And so they got her charged with murder, attempted murder. And there's a big argument online about like PTSD and postpartum depression and bipolar. And there's a lot of people that are like saying that she should be able to, get the help she needs and have her kids back.
After killing them?
She did not kill them.
Trying them. Yeah.
She was trying to, and then she called 911.
Yeah.
But they had already passed out from the carbon monoxide.
Oh, wow.
It's a big argument online right now.
Well, yeah. It's just, who knows how it all comes out. I mean, yeah, and it's so funny to me is that everybody thinks that they should have an opinion in that.
Yeah.
Ahead of time.
Well, I mean, I think you just have to follow the law when it comes to it.
Yeah.
That's my opinion on it.
Right.
If they're going to charge her with attempted murder, then charge her with attempted murder. She's not going to get the help she needs in prison, though, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
I don't know where you get the help you need for that, but it's not prison. All right.
No, I was at an event. Not too long ago, and there was a guy. It was a guy who from the west side who all he did was navigate. He worked for the state and help. His whole job was to keep track of people that had broken the law but that had mental health issues and getting them help in some way.
After they're out of?
Well, no. So specifically it was that if they had a mental health issue and they broke the law, but because of their mental health they weren't really able to go to trial, then how to handle them or take care of them. That's got to be a tough job right there. No, it was. But still, it was. We had a really interesting conversation about the mental health system, especially for incarcerated individuals, and how he helped navigate that and stuff. It was it was fascinating conversation.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Well, hey, let's do sports instead.
Yep.
That's a much easier conversation.
Let's do it. AM Sports Report brought to you by Northwest Furniture and Mattress. When you agree on everything except mattress needs, the Tempur-Pedic Luxe Breeze fills the gap. Split head king, you and your co-sleeper can feel comfort of resting side by side without compromise. Different hardnesses, different, it's one of those fancy schmancy beds. Find them and more at Northwest Furniture and Mattress in La Grande. They want to make you comfortable in your own home. With sports pretty much being over, there's something for kids to do right here. There's NBC camps coming up. I went to it when I was a kid. It's been in La Grande for so long, and they're looking for people to sign up. Their coach is a local dude. He's been doing these NBC camps for like 20 years. He's a really good dude, and he was like, "Hey, could you throw this in your sports report?" And I was like, "Sure." Eastern Oregon University, from the 22nd through the 25th, is the complete basketball camp. There's a QR code right there, and then at the middle school, the Complete Skills Junior Basketball Day Camp is the 17th through the 19th. That's ages 8 through 13. So if your kids don't have anything to do, get them signed up for these camps. That develops players. And that's basically where it starts. You know, like championship high school teams don't have people that don't do this. You know what I mean? And this is the foot in the door, and it helps out a lot. There's also a shooting and offensive skills basketball day camp on June 29th from 9 to 4, and that's ages 9 through 14. Like I said, scan the QR code on the screen, or you can go to mbccamps.com. Let me tell you a little bit about the camp director, Jacob Powell. He brings over 20 years of experience, beginning as a camper and growing into a coach and a mentor. His coaching background includes collegiate stops at Ave Maria and Barry University, along with professional coaching and playing experience in Germany and Greece. He's committed to helping young athletes grow on and off the court. Guided by his faith, he strives to share both his love for the game and the gospel while investing in the next generation. So scan the QR code on the screen. If you got a kid from either 11 to 17, 8 to 13, or 9 to 14 for the 3 different camps, get them signed up today. I have a code that you could use too. $25 off June 17th through the 19th camp is LG25. And then $15 off the one-day camp, LG15. Those are pretty easy to remember. LG25, LG15. Shrine. Let's check this out real quick. We're a little over a month and a half, right around there, away from Shrine Game. It's pretty exciting. They released the rosters, and we have 6 local kids. I'm including Baker and the Valley, so no Pendleton kids. Connor Martin from Baker, Daniel Maldonado from Baker, Derek Miller from Union will be playing in the game, and then our 3 LeGrand kids. We have 3 LeGrand kids in the game this year. Last year we didn't have any. Carson DeClue, Riley Krantz, and Beckham Hibbert will all play in the game as well. So that's pretty exciting for the Tigers. Usually teams only get 1 player, and if you're the state champion, you get 2. So there must have been quite a few people that couldn't play this year because we got 3 players in. And that's awesome for LeGrand. It's close, you know. And then 2 in Baker, too, with the game being right there. Their fans will be able to go up and watch them. It's pretty exciting. It's a big year. Like, it's a fun year for me, too. One of my really good friends' son is playing in the game from Taft, Cole Tolan. I mean, I grew up with his dad here in LeGrand, and Grandma and Grandpa live here, Aunt and Uncles live here. It's going to be fun to kind of, you know, reconnect and see him play football for the first time for me. Willie Mack will be back on play-by-play for year 6 along with me. I can't believe it's already year 6.
That's crazy.
Wow, man. I mean, it feels like it's just flown. Yeah, we've done all 5 of the first years, and we're coming back again this year. AM Sports Report brought to you by Northwest Furniture and Mattress. Big Red Rocking Chair on Elm, off Adams in LeGrand.
All right. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look outside. Man, it's a beautiful morning this morning. And I just love these. I love the weather right now. Let's take a look at that graphic, Benny. So 65 today, 63 tomorrow is the high. And then it warms up on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, it's going to warm up for the weekend. I forgot to say this during the sports report, but it's on the road.
Yeah.
The Legion team's playing in the Ashley Hodgin tournament in Pendleton this weekend, so the weather's supposed to be really nice over there.
How old are the Legion? I don't know what those...
High school kids.
High school kids.
High school age kids. So, like, it's their version of summer ball is American Legion.
Okay, cool. Alrighty. Well, hey, we're going to take a quick break and we will be back with Maggie and Frederick from Right Track Resource Center here in La Grande.
Eastern Oregon is full of interesting people, with interesting minds and interesting things to say. Here at EO Live, we're committed to connecting you to these intriguing people with EO Talks. We let our special guests share their ideas and life experiences with deep, open, engaging, and inquisitive conversations. You'll also be informed in depth on some of the most recent and relevant events, issues, and more. EO Talks on EO Live, your connection to Eastern Oregon, now on Roku.
All right, we're back with Frederick and Maggie. How are you guys?
Pretty good.
Doing pretty good.
Good. Hey, thanks for jumping in here with us this morning. You guys are with the Right Track Resource Center, which started as the warming station, right?
Yeah, it started as Union County Warming Station. Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Again, it's very nice to be here, to be
Well-
able to celebrate what we do.
Well, good. And Maggie, you've been, I think we've had you guys on, or people from the warming station a couple of times, and I think you were on the first time, right?
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
on the first time kind of introducing the new facility that we're at. So
Yeah.
we've been at 501 3rd Street for a few years now.
Yeah.
Yep, and it was quite a challenge to get it all geared up to go for the shelter season, and I think we were a little late that year. We were a couple months late because we had trouble finding a location.
Yeah.
And then we were able to secure it, and since then we've renamed, rebranded, got the 501c3 nonprofit status established and stuff, and it's been pretty good, and we've been doing a lot with a little. So.
Yeah, well, and when did the warming station start? I'm trying to, I don't know. How long has it been going now for?
So the warming station started in 2017, and it was kind of a collective of community members
Right,
that
yeah.
saw the need and brought it to life. And then since we've been at the location at 501 3rd Street, we've been able to expand
Right.
to do year-round resource center
Right.
services and community health worker services. So we provide a lot of direct services for a lot of community members.
Right. So almost 9 years though since, it's 9 years now, almost 10 years since kind of the inception of the idea, even though it's changed and greatly expanded. And so, and I remember it getting going and it kind of getting going out of just the passion of individuals. So Maggie, tell me a little bit about how it's evolved and the programs that you have. I don't know, tell me the story a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I was saying before, it was just a seasonal warming station. So it was just developed out of the need to keep people safe during the winter months. And then we noticed that just wasn't enough to help community members that were experiencing houselessness. So since we've moved into this new location, and it changed locations
Right.
quite a few times.
Yeah.
And there was even a season where there wasn't a warming station during that time. But we've been able to do a lot more with this new location. We have the ability to offer showers, a facility to do so folks can do their laundry, a place where people can come and get a food box or a hot meal if we have volunteers that are able to provide that, or even like grab and go snacks and stuff for folks. It's also a place where people can relax. We have a computer lab. Yeah, we have clothes available. There's quite a bit going on actually at the new facility, and it is just Fred and I are the only 2 staff members currently.
Wow. And so the warming station part of it, are you, during this time of the year, are you still providing a place for people to spend the night? Is that year round?
No, unfortunately, due to capacity, because we're very dependent upon volunteers.
Right.
And this season, we were actually allotted funding that allowed us to hire seasonal staff members. Without that seasonal staff, we really wouldn't have been as successful as we were this year, because we didn't have the volunteer numbers like we usually have had in the past. But the volunteers that we did have this year are very dedicated individuals, and we're super grateful for that. But our season runs from November 15th to March 15th. And that March 15th is our last shelter night, and then during that off season is what we call it, we provide just daytime resource center hours. So currently our resource center hours are open Monday and Thursday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Okay. And so during this time of the year, those are the 2 days that you're managing, but you're doing other, when you're not open, give me an idea of the services. If somebody needs help, how does that work? Yeah.
Oh, well, I've been, so for example, I have a few guests I've been working with. I will go with them to appointments at ODHS to set up like food stamps for long-term care. I meet people in the community to help them put in applications to apartments. Sometimes the population we work with struggles with technology and writing, especially if they're elderly. So a lot of hand-holding and groundwork, helping them jump through all these hoops to navigate resources.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Frederick, tell me a little bit about you. How did you get involved? Well, I mean, let's start with, are you from LeGrand originally, and how did you get here if you're not, and kind of tell me your story a little bit.
Well, I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan, born and raised there. I kind of bounced around a lot after leaving Detroit when I was 18. Lived in DC a couple years, Utah for a few years. Then I ended up out here, and right now I'm just working, it's just me and my son. He's 5. He's wonderful. But, I've always done social work. I've always had a desire to help people from all different walks of life, from child welfare to like nursing homes. And I found out about the Resource Center when I went and checked it out, and there was an opening. So I applied, got the job, and the rest is history.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how did you get to LeGrand? Did you come to LeGrand to work at the Resource Center, or did you, I'm kind of interested, how did you end up here?
Oh, well, got married, and then we moved out here. It didn't work out, but a lot of her family was from the area. Mm-hmm. So that's how I ended up specifically in LeGrand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool, yeah, because a kid from Detroit in Eastern Oregon, there's a story there somewhere.
There is. Oh, man.
Yeah.
It's funny, it feels like I'm getting back to my roots because my dad grew up down south on a farm in a very rural area, but he moved to Detroit when he was in his 20s after the Navy.
Oh, wow.
So it feels like I flipped-flopped dad and stuff, yeah.
Well, but still. Well, and so, I don't know, talk to me. When did you first find this desire to be helpful in people's lives like that?
When I was younger, so I was in foster care for 1 year in high school. And it was a very trying time. But as I got older in college, I was trying to figure out what to do and stuff. And I took one of those career aptitude test things. And the number one thing said social work. And I've always had a desire to help people because I was part of Rotaract and I would do like all types of charity events. I would like join. And I was like, you know what? Let me try it out. And I took intro to social work, changed my life. I was like, this is what I need to do the rest of my life. Wow. And then since then, it's just been treatment centers and youth and foster care and just all different types of things.
Wow. So tell me, what is what do you do? What is your position at the Right Track Resource Center? It's like, yeah, and I know what that means. Like, yeah, anything that's left over that doesn't get done. Is that kind of?
Yeah, well, I do many things with Maggie's help, of course, best supervisor in the world. But I coordinate volunteers. So every season, I'm in charge of recruitment, whether that's tabling at Safeway, contacting churches, doing presentations, and I'm in charge of coordination. So for the warming station, we need 2 volunteers per hour to open. So I am calling people to fill shifts. I'm managing all of the meal makers. We have volunteers who make meals. I do community service. If anyone needs community service, I oversee that. I give them tasks. I help sign off their papers. I coordinate with parole officers, and many more things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Maggie, what kind of give me an idea of your role? What do you do?
So, like I said, it is just Fred and I, and so we do everything you can imagine you would need to do to operate a facility.
Yeah.
And so that means we are the janitorial staff, maintenance staff, we do a lot of direct service with community members and guests that need that help. We do a lot of what we call hand holding, which I don't think is like a terrible term, because that's what a lot of people need, is they need that advocacy where like somebody goes to those appointments with them, they help them like break down and understand like maybe what the doctor said, or they have to meet with a professional that's like part of their legal team, and it's very overwhelming for them. I mean, it's overwhelming for like the regular person to make a phone call to their doctor sometimes to set an appointment. So we do a lot of that. Frederick does a lot with volunteers, which is awesome. So it takes a lot of the weight and brunt off of me, as far as like keeping that relationship with that many people, because my caseload right now, as far as like how many people I'm doing direct services with, is over 50 people. And so
my caseload is like, it's about 5, but in terms of volunteers, it's well over 50 to keep track of and coordinate with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also do public relations and keep relationships with partners going, because it isn't just us. Like, we're fiscally sponsored through Northeast Oregon Network, or NEON. So without their help, helping us manage the money and grants and everything like that, like we would be terribly lost. And it's just, there's a lot going on there.
So are you both full-time doing this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and then how are your wages paid? How do they, or and just generally, why do you because you have the expense of the facility too.
Right.
And so tell me how do you get the bills paid?
So through different funding sources. Sometimes it's through state grants. We don't receive any federal grants at the moment. Sometimes, but it's smaller grants, and then also donors, community members that donate to us is kind of how we keep going. So we don't have any. There's no funding from the county or the city, and like I said, no federal funding. So it is just a constant sort of grab for funds. We are technically Northeast Oregon Network employees, but we are employed by them for the Right Track Resource Center.
Got it.
And
okay.
then we do have our board of directors as well.
So what is your overall operating budget per year? Do you have a number that you kind of function with?
I've stayed away so much from the financial portion of it that I don't have a number to give you
and
right now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Well, and I ask that because, we have a number of nonprofits that are sitting right where you are, and those are just the basic questions that anybody in the community, especially if you have a donating people, they want a snapshot of, like, okay, how is the money spent? And I have been a part of LeGrand Main Street downtown and the Chamber of Commerce, and all of these things function kind of the same way. So,
I will say that we're looking at upwards of like 500 to 700,000 a year just to keep operations going, and that would be like a sustainable number, just to keep it going, kind of not even where we're at right now, but that's kind of the low end of things, really, because the idea is that we want to expand. We're tired.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who owns, are you renting the property that you are in now?
We are in a owner-carried mortgage.
Okay.
At this time, yeah. So it is a local psychiatrist that owns the building, or I guess no, technically now we're owners carrying the mortgage and stuff like that. Yeah. So under contract, I think it's a 5-year contract.
No, and I mean, and what an awesome opportunity for for the Right Track Resource Center. Where did that name come from, by the way?
It was mine. I had kind of consulted with a few folks. I'm a lover of trains, and
oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, so I really love trains, and that's kind of the idea behind it. Was we wanted something that was uplifting. There has been a little bit of pushback against the name because people felt like, well, there's no right track. But that's kind of the idea too, is like sometimes there's split tracks and sometimes there's parallel tracks, and whatever track is working is probably the right track. So
well, yeah. But I think that there is kind of a fair assumption that if you're on the right track, your life is sustainable. You have a job or income, and you have a place to live, and you have food and water, and I mean, there's just some basic things that you could say that, hey, that person is on the right track.
Yeah.
So yeah, regardless of the pushback, you can't not look at society and go that there's a lot of things that are in common for people that are functioning on a day-to-day basis. Yeah.
Exactly.
So, and it's kind of funny because I've used the analogy of a train track also a lot in life, in that because you intersect with different people and they are with you for a period of time. It's like if you go to college or someplace and you have that experience. You're the two of you right now. I mean, you're on this train car. It's moving down life, and your path led you, however it is that you got here to this point, and but at the same time, life continues to move on down. But you never forget those little experiences where you were with different people, So. No, go ahead.
Yeah, so we wanted to talk about how many people we actually served this year. So, like I said before, thanks to funding, we were able to hire some seasonal staff. One of those seasonal staff members was actually a guest of the Resource Center at one time. So since we've been in this location, we've helped an individual who has, their life has improved exponentially to the point where they were actually able to be a part-time staff member this
want to give back.
season.
Sure.
Yeah, and it was really great, not only for the community that we serve, because it kind of, being able to lead by example is like super important. It's why I do the work, and so like it was really wonderful to like see this individual that's doing so well was at a very not so great point in their life, and then now they're in this position to uplift other people. And it was also really great for our volunteers to see that as well. We did assist 141 people this season. So between November and March, we helped 141 people. And I think since the off season started, so after March 15th, we're looking at somewhere around 80 people, I think, have come through our doors, or just under 80 people have come through our doors so far. For daytime services.
Yeah. So 141 during the warming season. You probably have a term for that, but I don't.
We just say like during the warming station season or shelter season.
Okay, yeah. And so, but but I would imagine that a lot of those people spent several nights there.
Yeah.
And so I mean, how many do you have a count of the number of single overnight people? I mean, is that a number that you tracked? You know what I mean?
Yeah, so the 141 are individuals.
Right.
Whether they've stayed 1 or 3 nights.
Right.
But we also keep track of like how many times people have stayed and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, so I guess how many beds, do you have any idea how many beds did you provide during the warming season?
Oh, that
Yeah.
number is about, I think it's over 700. Because we have about 25 to 27 beds to use.
Yeah.
And we were full almost every night. Last winter season, we were only full 2 nights. And that was the coldest days of winter, and it was in February where it hit 0 degrees.
Huh.
But this year, we were full almost every night except for like maybe a week. Maybe 2 weeks, because during the winter, during December.
Yeah.
Well, and that's an interesting trend, because I would have thought that this winter was so mild that you would have had fewer beds filled this winter. I guess my perception though is there's a little more need. I mean, I just see more unhoused people, what I presume are I mean, is that your perception?
That's what I think, yes, because it is interesting, because I was thinking the same thing at the end of the season. I was like, it was much milder, but we had way more people. At the end of the last season, we helped about 107 individuals. So the fact that it jumped to like 140 something this season, so there's more need. And also the increase in the elderly, well, not the elderly, but older individuals. About half were 45 and up. And it's been a lot of people who are struggling financially. So it's no longer just one, it's never been one, but it's a variety of different reasons why people are struggling and needed the center. Yeah.
Yeah, and so, and another thing to speak to is like, because we've been at this location for as long as we have, people have noticed that, or they've taken notice to the work that we do. And so they know that if they work with us, not just like staying with us overnight, but also like coming in during those daytime hours and like working with us and us assisting them as community health workers and getting them connected to the correct resources and stuff like that. Like, they know that consistency is what's going to improve their situation. And so some of it is we've had a lot of houseless individuals in LeGrand and in Union County, and we are seeing a trend of that going up, especially like Fred was saying, older individuals that are very dependent upon Social Security or maybe Social Security disability income. Like we're seeing a trend that's going up, but people are taking notice that when they come to us, they do get the help that they need, even though we're pretty tapped on capacity at this moment. Yeah.
Speaking of that, how does that work? So say like somebody comes in beginning of the season, how long can they stay? Like, could 25 people show up on day one and stay the whole season and you're full the whole season?
Yep.
Yeah.
There's no limitation. You just so if 25 people showed up on the first day, needed a room, and they stayed the entire time, nobody else can use those services at all?
That is unfortunately what it is. So we do have a cap of 25 guests per night. We did go over that cap a couple of times, and that was because we had a family with youth, with children. So we didn't count them as full individuals, and so they did take up bed space, and thankfully we had beds for them to take up that space. But so if individuals do come in, and let's say it's the same 25, then it is first come, first serve. So if certain individuals get there before others, we're not saving beds for people.
Well, is there a program that you have to follow to be able to stay?
Well, we do have a set of rules.
No, not rules.
Yeah.
Is there expectations of moving forward?
No, but we haven't felt the need to put anything like that in place as of right now, because when people are staying with us, it's kind of a natural process, I guess. So
all
as
the
they're staying
people-
with us, we're able to help them, and as we're able to help them, we're able to sometimes get them into housing well before the middle of the season and stuff like that. So
Yeah, so all the people we help and stuff, whether it's to get into housing or to treatment or to doctor's appointments, it's nothing that's been given to them as an expectation. It's them wanting to improve their situation as much as they can.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, but I'm sure that there could be, because they don't stay during the day, right? You have to be out of there by a certain time every day.
Yeah.
And then you can come back, 9 o'clock or what time? I don't know what time.
So we do have, we do want people out for at least an hour after checkout, which is, 8.
Yeah, 8 o'clock. And then
And-
we have walk-in days.
Yeah, and so on those particular walk-in days, then they're able to come back at 9. And that hour kind of gives us the gap that we need to go through rooms, make sure things are clean, because we're really big on cleanliness. That's something that a lot of shelters struggle with, is like keeping a clean, hygienic facility, and that's just because of helping a mass amount of people and everything that comes with that. But while it is just Fred and I are the only staff members there, we work very closely with other community partners, other organizations in the community. So recovery programs, mental health programs. We're right next door to the regional medical clinic, Grand Ronde Regional Medical Clinic, which is really wonderful. It's truly a blessing because we can connect people with a primary care provider very quickly that way.
It really is great. Last summer, we were doing monthly health events, and different people like CHD nurses and like COPEs would come in, and we had one where we did free Hep C testing, and it was great. There were like a few people who were diagnosed and like got tested, and they had Hep C, and they were able to just go right next door to make an appointment and stuff. It was
Now,
super
what
nice.
kind of testing was it? I'm sorry.
So Hep C, and then it was also syphilis and HIV and AIDS testing. And was that it?
I think that was it. And so some, like the COPES was able to provide the hepatitis C testing. Yeah, and then I think it was the public health, CHG's public health was able to come in and do the syphilis and HIV. Yeah,
That's
testing.
awesome.
Yeah. And like Fred was saying, it was through that testing, a lot of people were able to get help and like the treatment and the connection that they needed. So being able to make that service more accessible to people that might need it was really great. And in an environment where there's no judgment, like things happen and stuff. So it's pretty great to watch people.
So Fred, you were recently at LeGrand Rotary and presented some information. And one of the things that I remember was interesting was, the question was, is the number of people that you serve, where are they from? And if I remember, there's a fairly high percentage that this is their home. They're here. Yeah. So, I mean, talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed, especially the last year and a half, as I've been like talking to people about the center and stuff, there's this misconception that, the resource center or, the warming station, how it used to be called, just is bringing all these people from like super far areas like Portland and all these places. And from what I've seen, that's not the case. Last season, out of those 107 people, most of them grew up here or from here, have been here a very long time. And then this season, same thing, even with the increase up to like 140 something, a lot of people are from here, have lived here. They have, like I talked to guests, they have memories of like fishing at, the creek or playing in like the Perry swimming hole. They have all these memories from when they were like 10, 12 years old. Like, oh yeah, I went to that school, I played basketball, I, did this and that and stuff. So it's people who are from here.
Do you have a firm number, like, or close? Like you say a lot. What's a lot? A lot could mean
Over
different to you and me.
100, so over 80%. Actually,
Over
no,
80%?
over 90%.
Oh, yeah, okay.
'Cause
That's a lot.
Yeah, the 107, there were maybe like 3 to 5 people. Like there was a couple coming through that were coming down from Portland going through town, maybe 5 at most, and then this season, maybe 10 out of the 140.
And some of that number is going to come from, because while we serve a houseless community, some people find themselves at our shelter because of weather. So like if the road, something happens and the road gets shut down,
Yeah.
people will be sent to us. And so that did actually happen. Somebody had an accident in the snow, and law enforcement dropped them off at our door, and they were able to stay overnight until they had family members that were able to come and get them after the roads opened back up. And so that does happen. Sometimes, people will come to us from the jail after being, released from jail, and they may have gotten pulled over and they may not be local, but for the majority, it is local people needing our resources. I think what people don't understand is that people will go where the resources are. So even though we serve majority LeGrand, Union County population, people, when our shelter services end, we're not able to provide that service anymore. So people will go to Pendleton, to Hermiston, to Walla Walla, and they'll kind of do like a circle around. Majority of people that we serve, even if they do go to Pendleton from time to time for different resources, they're
Right.
local from LeGrand.
But to zoom in on that a little bit, because this is important, to zoom in on, but you're not seeing Pendleton and Hermiston people kind of make that cycle to come here.
Not so much, and I think that has a lot to do with the types of resources that they provide there.
Okay.
So like Hermiston has Stepping Stones Alliance, which is really great, and it is, so how you were talking about having to follow a program.
Right.
So they do have that. They have a program that if you follow, you're able to utilize. I think they have like pod houses and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want to, I don't know enough about it to speak too much on it, but I do know that the work that they do is really great it helps them integrate people back into the community that way. We don't have that funding to do that, but if we
Basically,
did.
you're just saying that because we don't have year-round services, people from Pendleton and Hermiston do have year-round services, so they're not coming here to complete their circle. Our people are going there to complete their circle.
Yeah, for the most part, we're not seeing that influx from over there to here. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and the reason I said it's important, what I meant is that people are interested in
Absolutely.
doing that, and this is why. I mean, we're a business. We're in downtown. We're in a business community. And homeless individuals, whether we like it or not, hanging around our downtown, that does not make our business community more attractive. And so, and that's anyhow. I mean, that's just the reality. And when you drive down a quaint, beautiful little town, and there's a lot of things that LeGrand does right, if there are homeless individuals, it's just a distraction. And so from a business standpoint, you're always looking. I mean, you're looking for the best interest into your business or into the community or whatever it is. And if you need to move a garbage can or if you need to do something, you're trying to make that as smooth as possible. So, but I've heard business people say, the more services, other business people, the more services that we offer, we draw people that are they're not from our community, we draw them in. And so I love what it is, because what you said is just, we're taking care of our own. And the thing I know about Eastern Oregon people is this, is that they want to take care of their own people. I mean, in the heart, regardless of where they are, in their feeling, in their heart, they have compassion for their neighbors. They have compassion for their own people. And so, I mean, that's a powerful thing for the Right Track Resource Center. I mean, that statistic, that should be, I mean, man, you should be putting that out there, because it is super important, and people will be moved for that, regardless of where they are. If they know that they're helping their people right here from Eastern Oregon. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that it really is a testament to like how unique of a community that we actually live in, because we're able to offer this service to the people of Union County in a way where like a larger metropolitan area with more resources and services, they're really not able to like tap into what we are able to tap into, which is taking care of community. Like when people walk through our doors, they really do feel like home. They feel like they're walking into a family member's home. You know, they know that they can walk in and they can be taken care of in a way that they wouldn't be able to if they were just a number on a data sheet, sort of.
And so you're saying in a more metropolitan area, they're just, they don't have the time to take care of people like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
No,
not
no.
that we've been able to see. Now I've seen a lot of like resource centers and shelters do wonderful work in larger areas, and it's not to say that they don't bring a level of like compassion and care to their work, but yeah, I think we've really made something special for the rural residents of Union County.
It's like school. Classroom size matters. Like
Yes.
you're in a big city, you're 60 kids in a class compared to Embler where there's 12. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Those kids are getting
And there's
away.
nothing
Yes.
wrong with like the big classes in big cities because you have more people. You
Yeah.
need to have spaces to accommodate that. But it's also really nice to have that more intimate, smaller size.
Makes
You can
sense.
do more one-on-one. You get to know people more. I've met so many people who have such interesting lives and stuff that I've met over the last year and a half. Just
Incredibly smart, incredibly talented.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
landscapers, people who have degrees, like all types of trades and stuff and backgrounds. And then, you know, you think to yourself, well, how do they end up in this situation? And a lot of the times, life just happens. Even myself, I was homeless for about a week. I had recently got divorced. It's been about 3 years now. And unexpectedly, I lost my job. And then after that, I couldn't afford my apartment, so I lost that. And all my family's back in Detroit. But I had a choice. I could stay and try to make it work, sleep in my van, work, save up enough money for an apartment, or move all the way back to Detroit. But I made the choice to stay so I can see my son. So many people have to make choices like that because there are things in life that happens out of your control and stuff. So it's not always a choice that someone has made that put them in their situation. It's something that life has just thrown at them, and they're just doing the best they can.
Yep.
No, and you're. I mean, and I've had a very similar experience to that. You know, where I spent a month in the most dismal motel here in La Grande that you can imagine. You know, and so, you know, I get it because and when you're in those situations, you realize, you know, whether you are by there from your own making or not, you realize how close you are to being homeless, you know, and it's just a tiny little tip and a number of things that don't work out, and yeah, you certainly can be there. Something that was really came to my mind a few minutes ago when we were talking about hand holding is the even for regular people, and I'm sorry to have to use that term, but I'm just even for somebody who has had a fairly successful life, navigating the technology. I mean, even, you know, I mean, I am an extremely technical person. I'm involved all the time in, you know, signing into an account and getting there and so on and so forth. But it is an obstacle. I mean, I can only imagine somebody who is a little older, and I help them with some of those things sometimes, you know. I mean, so I mean, I would imagine there's a lot of that.
There is.
Yeah.
Oh my
But
goodness.
I mean, just to get into your health chart wherever it might be, or to, I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even apartments, a lot of apartments don't do physical applications anymore. A lot of it is online now. So if you struggle with a computer, it makes it hard to even apply for apartments, let alone having everything you need, like making copies of IDs, scanning things in and stuff. If you struggle operating a web browser on like a tablet or a Chromebook, oh man, So yeah.
Right, yeah. No, and I mean, there are times I will email somebody, and I'll talk to them on the phone and be like, "Oh, will you copy that URL address and put it in your web browser?" And they're like, "Well, how do I copy? What do you mean in my web?" I mean, it's just even the most basic things that we do every day. I mean, and these are intelligent, business, successful people. They're retired now, and they have kind of migrated out of the midst of that, and so I can only imagine.
Yeah, and you think that with technology expanding that it would make it easier for individuals, but what we're seeing is, well, if you don't have money for the technology, then you can't learn the technology. And so thankfully, funding that we got that was allowed us to hire staff, seasonal staff. Also, we had a pool of funding that we were able to use for helping people with moving costs, paying deposits or not deposits, application fees and deposits if they got into housing, but also cell phones. And so we were able to get people cell phones, but then once we got those cell phones, then we're having to navigate how to show them how to use it, whether it's telehealth or so you think telehealth appointments would make it easier for individuals to get to appointments, but if they don't have internet access or they don't have the understanding of technology, it can be very overwhelming and very frustrating.
Well, yeah, right. I mean, so great, you succeed. It's a telehealth appointment. How do I get the doctor on the phone? How do I see them? How do I know that, oh, this little picture down here is me and I got to point all of these things that are just kind of built into our world, if you've not experienced that, those are horrendous options.
Yeah, and then we're seeing, if you're living outside, your devices are more prone to accidents. And so cracked screen, cracked camera, you're not able to do these certain things. And those phones that we are able to provide to people, don't have the best glass, don't have the best screen. Yeah. So it does seem like the break a little easier than maybe a more expensive phone. But
so we're going to quit here in a minute, but a couple of questions. Tell me about the facility itself. Is there a hangout place? I mean, there are individual beds and sometimes we'll just have to bring us some video so that we kind of know what the inside of your place. But when people leave and then they come back an hour later, where do they hang out at? What do they do? Oh, tell me about that.
So it's actually really nice. It's literally like a big house.
Okay.
So the bedrooms are kind of like a U shape around the inside. It's different rooms, but then we have a great open area where we have tables and chairs for people to talk and converse. And then we have a little area off to the side that has a little couch and more tables and chairs for people to converse and stuff. And then in the back, we have a backyard, has a little patio back there with an awning. That's the smoking area if you do need to smoke. A lot of our guests smoke. But yeah, there's quite a bit of places.
So completely fenced in backyard.
Yeah.
And it used to be Angeline's, it was a senior foster care facility. So the layout is designed to be not dorm style, but individual bedrooms. Some are bigger than others. Some were able to fit 4 to 5 individuals. Others it's max capacity 2 people. But those bedrooms or sleeper rooms get converted into kind of makeshift office spaces for when community partners come in to meet with people where they're at. They can have a private place to go and converse with individuals if they need to do assessments or interviews and stuff like that. And then one room is dedicated for our computer lab. Which is really nice. But yeah, like Fred was saying, it's a big open area. We'll happily take a video. This is the inspiration that we needed to do it for sure.
Yeah, so how do you how do you manage people just wanting to come back in and go back to sleep or take a nap? Or is that cool? Whatever they want to do. You know what I mean?
I mean, if we have somebody that comes in and they want to take a nap, unfortunately, it's going to have to be sitting up. in
Okay.
somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, the sleeper beds and everything are put away during the off season because it's just too much to manage.
Yeah.
And so those room doors get closed. They're locking doors, and so they get closed during that time unless they're being used for like an office space or something like that. Yeah.
What
Okay.
about pets? What if,
Oh, we
a
allow
lot of
pets.
homeless people have dogs.
Yeah, we
Yes.
had about 4 to 6 dogs every
How do you
night.
manage
And
it?
cats.
And yeah, we'll even take goldfish if we got one. Like,
Isn't there like some certain liability to that?
There is. We have our insurance is a lot, but we do have limitations. So we actually can't take individuals that have a pet that's pregnant because there's a risk of like the animal giving birth at the facility, and that can be its own set of problems and
Yes.
issues. And then no more than 2 pets per individual. So an individual can come in and they can have 2 pets max.
And do they have to be kenneled, or what's the?
so they have to
yeah.
stay on the release. And then at night, it does have to be in the kennel unless the roommates that they're staying with is okay with their dog sleeping outside of the kennel.
Okay.
And it is up to the individual to manage their pet. So if they're, not up to date on vaccinations, or, they have an aggressive pet, then they will be asked to leave. Or if they don't want to follow rules, a lot of people don't want to have their pet on a leash or in a kennel. And unfortunately, in order to serve the population that we serve, there just are those sets of rules.
Do
It's the same
they
as-
have to
yeah.
show vaccination records?
No.
So you just ask them and they.
So it is just, that's more of a, not so much a requirement, but just like a nudge. Like,
Right.
please vaccinate your animals. And then when we do have funding, like we did this year, we were able to help individuals get their pets vaccinated, and some of them fixed, spayed or neutered. So that was like pretty great for us
Wow.
and for them too.
So let's talk about funding. So if people, if they like your story, where do they go if they want to give for this kind of thing?
So they can either, we take cash, check, card.
But no IOUs though.
Yeah, no, that's, or like if people, want to donate online, they can go to our Facebook page or our website. So we use a donation platform called Zephy now. It's pretty easy. You can go to our Facebook page, and it's one of the links that we have provided. Click on the link, and then you're able to donate amount of money that you would like. And then if some people want to donate in cash or check, they can do so. They can write it out to Right Track Resource Center, and they can drop it off at our facility, or they can even take it to the Neon office here downtown.
Yeah.
And your website is
It is rtrcoregon.org.
RTRC Oregon,
Yep.
Right Track Resource Center Oregon .org. Okay, cool.
Yeah. And or if people want to donate goods, if you don't have money to donate, we'll always take toothbrushes, cleaning supplies, clean
Deodorant.
socks, unused deodorant, please.
Yeah. Toothbrushes. Like,
yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, any of those items are definitely needed because like daily hygiene items are so important to keep.
Toiletries.
Yeah.
Yes, toiletries. Yeah.
And we do update a list of needs on our website and on our Facebook page. We try to keep it relevant to the season. Like this upcoming season, it's going to be a lot of sunscreen, water bottles. We try to use like the reusable water bottles and stuff. So, and then, or if people don't have goods but they have time, not all of us have time. But yeah, we would love for people to come in and volunteer. And if they're even sort of curious about volunteering, contact us so we can speak with them about all the volunteer options, because it isn't just during the warming station season. We need help all the time.
Yeah, it's during the summer. We had a volunteer come in the other day. They helped fold towels and stuff for people to take a shower. We have people who come in to make sandwiches and hand them out and stuff. You know how bigger cities have soup kitchens? We're probably the closest thing to a year-round soup kitchen because we always try to do meals. So
Yeah.
if you ever was like, man, I wish I was in a big city to go through a soup kitchen, come on
Yeah.
down.
But you're only open 2 days a week.
Correct.
Correct.
So you during the off season, you're only doing meal. Do you do meals both of those days?
We do pizzas on Thursdays. Papa Murphy's generously donate large pizzas. And then Mondays, we either take food that we have to make a meal or a volunteer will bring one in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every Monday and Thursday.
We try
Yeah,
to.
we try to. Yeah. We're not always able to, but when we are able to, we'll try to provide something.
What time is that at? Like, is it all day or?
So, I mean, people can come in the morning and we have breakfast items like cereal, milk, stuff like that, toast,
Yeah.
peanut butter, jelly, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then during the lunchtime, so around lunchtime, noon, 11:30 noon, we'll try to provide some sort of hot meal or, something made, that they can take with them. But now that we're going to be open until 5 p.m., we are looking for individuals that are interested in making like a hot meal that could be given to folks like a couple hours before we close for the day.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for
No,
being here.
thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
great.
Thanks for the conversation, and nice to meet you, Fred. Yeah. So,
Definitely.
all right, you want to get us out of here?
Let's do it.
All right.
On this day, June 9th, 1928, the first U.S. to Australia flight lands in Brisbane, captained by Charles Kingford Smith. The four-man crew made stops in Hawaii and Fiji on a 7,187-mile journey. 1934, on this day, the first appearance of Donald Duck in the cartoon The Wise Little Hen. 2021, the record price for a coin sold at auction, one coin, a 1933 double eagle, sells for $18.9 million in New York. 2022, two people are rescued after falling into a tank of chocolate in the Mars M&M factory in Pennsylvania. That would be interesting. That might be kind of fun, actually. The number one movie in America on this day, 20 years ago, The Omen, the remake. And then the quote of the day comes from Jack Canfield. Everything you want is on the other side of fear. One more time. Everything you want is on the other side of fear.
Awesome. Hey, thank you guys for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you guys for watching. We'll see you soon.